Welcome to Capital Conquest, the podcast, where we take an in-depth look at the influencers who have made and continue to make Capital Conquest the extraordinary event that it is. My name is Scott Campsall, and today, Hanshi, John, Therien, and I speak with Shihan, Benoit, Ladouceur. Ladouceur Shihan is a 6th degree black belt in Jiu-Jitsu and is also the Canadian and world light heavyweight champion in kickboxing. Shihan is one of the most dynamic instructors in the Therien Jiu-Jitsu and kickboxing family, and he shared with us some of his thoughts as to what he's looking forward to at this year's Capital Conquest. He also has some great advice for people who are attending for their first time. Get ready for a high-energy interview. Get ready for Shihan, Benoit, Ladouceur.
Welcome, Ben Ladouceur, the world kickboxing champion. Ben, it's so nice to renew with you this summer because we've got a big event coming up in the fall called Capital Conquest. And you being a world champ, and you being a world champion and having participated at Capital Conquest since you're 6 years old, I think you have things to tell us. Tell us what it means for you as a student and as a teacher and for your school.
Well, it's 30 years this year, and I think I was at the first one. I might have missed the first one, but I was definitely there at the second one when it was in Orleans in the school. What it did for me, for sure, when I was young, it motivated me to, it was like a happening, like a yearly thing. So we would renew with a lot of our friends from out of town, and we would meet new friends, and then we would wait 1 year till we renew with them again. And I remember all of those Kabuno Mania shows where we kind of, not a competition between schools, but we wanted to be the best demo. So we worked hard like 4 or 5 months before the event. And the other schools also were working hard. And that would make for a bang on show. And you get the opportunity to train with people you don't really get the opportunity to train with every day. Like I cannot train with Hanshi twice a week. I cannot train with Kiyoshi Burkowski or Hanshi Burkowski like once a week. But during that weekend, you get to actually train with all of these masters in the same room in the same weekend. So I can't imagine having that luxury right now without that Capital Conquest.
Yeah, well, you know, you've nailed it there. And at Capital Conquest, we have about 70 instructors from maybe 10, 15 countries, and they're always the elite instructors and those that are moving up to become the elite. Ben, this year, because you're a world kickboxing champion and we have some great strikers teaching at Capital Conquest. There's you, there's Jean-Yves Thériault, the Iceman, also teaching there, and other fantastic strikers. You are building a special room just for the strikers. You want to tell us about that?
Well, it was kind of an idea we had talked about. And every time there are mats that are doing karate, they're doing kickboxing, Muay Thai, and all of those striking sports, but nobody ever really has pads, or the people that bring their Thai pads are so minimal. So why not bring the equipment there so that if people really want to try it out and sweat it out and have fun and really get a taste of the martial arts, whichever the martial art is, well, they'll have the training equipment to do it. Also, we'll actually we're pretty good to making things happen. So we'll probably make it happen. Just bring about maybe 25 or 30 punching bags in that striking room. So we might have people working on the pads. We'll have people working on Thai pads. Maybe 2 or 3 years ago, we did a black light kickboxing event, which was all in black with a black light. Everybody would dress in white. So whatever we want to imagine we can do, we will do it.
The black light thing was fantastic. We might do it again this year. And
whatever you want to do, we'll do it.
That's good. Thank you. Because what we want to do is I want to surprise people with a whole bunch of different things this year. And I'm on track to do that. And with cooperation from top instructors like you, those will definitely happen. Friday night is a kickboxing gala that Jean-Yves Thériault will be putting together, the Iceman. And the last Capital Conquest was Friday, November 1st, 2019, just before the pandemic.
I think I was there.
Oh, man, were you ever? You had an opportunity to be in the ring with the Iceman, do an exhibition bout, and we had Bill Superfoot Wallace do an exhibition bout with the great Wally Slokey. I got to come back on that because it was so fantastic. At Capital Conquest, you get a lot of celebrities, a lot of champions, a lot of pioneers from the martial arts. That room was packed tight. And who's who in the martial arts, at least from Canada and some from Europe and the United States, were in the room. And you told me something that I never forgot. You said that was possibly the biggest event I've ever did as far as coverage is concerned and meeting all the superstars people you look up to when you were a kid or you still look up to now, and celebrities. Talk to us about the Friday night. It's like the biggest meet and greet you can have with the kickboxing gala. Tell us about that.
Well, the people that know me, and you know me a lot, you know I'm not the big media guy and the big signature guy. So for me to have people waiting in line to actually get pictures with me, or not with me, but with all of the fighters from that event, was pretty surreal for me. Then I would be signing autographs and signing posters and signing gloves and stuff like that. So for me, that was pretty much new, and it was exciting for me. You know, I was probably almost born in the martial arts. So I looked up to a lot of people when I was young. And then these guys came in with me and said, hey, good luck. And we're proud of you. So that was something new and something nice for me as a martial artist that grew up with these guys and looked up to these guys. So, and to actually be fighting Jean-Yves in front of everybody and being on the other side of the ring while people were yelling his name, that was pretty intense also.
How are you involved in the kickboxing for this year?
Whatever Jean-Yves wants me to do, I will. I think I got at least one fighter that's going to fight, maybe two, but still waiting on what opens up for us. But I'll definitely be teaching at that weekend.
People that train with you, they train with you. One is for technique, for striking skills, combination. And boy, oh boy, do you ever bring energy to a class. That is your trademark.
Great. Well, that's what I want. I want people to have fun for sure.
I got to say, when we did the World Martial Arts Live, we had the all online event, and my wife and I are training at our dojo. And when the pandemic happened, we went to Zoom. We were relatively soon to be on Zoom. I think it was about a week, and then we were online teaching. And then when this World Martial Arts Live thing happened, we looked at all these instructors and we went, okay, well, I think we're holding our own. We're doing all right. And then you taught and just knocked it out of the park. And my wife and I are just looking at each other going, okay, we have no idea what we're doing when we're teaching online. Look at Ben. He's just so amazing. So I just wanted to interject that in. It's like, we are definitely on your mat at Capital Conquest for sure.
Great. It would be my honor.
You know, Ben, if you had a word of advice to give to the school owners about coming with their students at Capital Conquest, what would you tell them?
As a school owner myself, it's a good retention tool for, students have to have challenges to get motivated. So we often do in-house tournaments. We do training camps. We do day camps. But that Capital Conquest event is good because if it's always the same thing day in and day out, people will get bored of it. So by having something new and giving them the chance to see something new, because it's important as an instructor to give that chance to your students, because your students will just be that much better. And for an instructor, I'll speak to myself. I just got to be better as a martial arts instructor by learning with all of those masters. I pretty much know how to throw a punch, how to throw a kick, and I can take a class from anybody. But I want to see how they teach that punch or how they teach that kick. And I will incorporate that into my own teaching. And it's the same as you want to learn a new technique. Well, you go train with a new martial arts. But if you want to learn a new way to teach, well, you'll go train with all of these masters that's been teaching for 50 years and you'll learn stuff also. So you know what? It's all fun. I do kickboxing and jiu-jitsu, but if I want to train karate, I'm not going to join a karate school, but I'm going to take the opportunity that weekend to go try out karate just because I'm curious about it. And if I want to take judo, I don't want to really join a judo school, but I want to try judo for an hour, maybe 2 hours. I'll do it. And then I'll be, okay, that's what judo is about. That's what karate is about. That's what taekwondo, that's what Muay Thai is about. And then you'll just get better. You'll be a better, well-rounded martial artist all the way.
Have you found that you've been able to adapt other styles into your own training and said, oh yeah, this has definitely helped? Like, let's say you're taking your karate class and you can go, oh, this has helped my punch or this has helped my kick.
Oh, absolutely. Like for myself, I did jiu-jitsu pretty much all the way up to I was 25, 26. I was never a kicking expert, but if I want to get better at my kicks, well, I will go in and actually learn how to kick, how to just like chamber your kick, lift your knee up. And I remember Hanshi would be very picky on those techniques. I would train with Jean-Yves 2 or 3 times a week, but having him at a seminar, he would spin out a new technique that I never saw or just a way to teach it that I would say, okay, I need to remember that. Or even at the beginning when BJJ was just starting out, Hanshi bought Robin Gracie and he taught his mat was full because everybody was curious about what is that grappling or that BJJ. So we kind of incorporated that into our own style of jiu-jitsu and then it became BJJ and we were running successful BJJ programs in our schools. But I remember my first knowledge of that was at Capital Conquest.
That's fantastic, Ben. And that's the beauty, like you say, of Capital Conquest. For me, it's like I work 1 year to bring the best and to help everybody. And we are all better for it, like you just mentioned. Yeah, that is one of the major benefits that we do.
I know it's always fun too. And you know what? Yes, we'll probably meet each other at Capital Conquest and we'll be able to talk more. And that's all fun because that's one of the most important part. Like training is good and working is good, but having fun also and meeting new people, I think for me, that's the best part because we spend our days or we spend our weeks teaching the same people, talking the same way we talk. And then we get to see people like you and people like Sensei Dauphin and all of these guys from Kitchener. And you get to meet new people and you're like, wow, okay, they're different type of thinking, different type of mentality. You will grow as a human being as much as you will grow as a martial artist by doing those events, especially that Capital Conquest. And you know what? After 30 years, I would say it's pretty down path. Like it's a perfect event. There's like all the mistakes has been done. So it's always smooth sailing, or at least it looks like it's smooth sailing because Hanshi Therien makes it look easy, but it's a perfect event. So anybody will have fun or everybody will have fun.
Thank you for saying it looks like it's smooth sailing. Right now, traveling and flying all over the world is kind of tough at the airport for the summer right now. They don't have enough manpower. And I watch the news and it's a fiasco, you know. But I look at Capital Conquest, that should all be fixed. And this year, my focus is more or less in Canada, the United States, not so much Europe. But I was surprised. Yesterday, I look at my list of who's coming, and there's already 11 countries coming this year.
Wow.
I haven't touched Europe at the moment. So the last time in 2019, there was 17 countries there. Now we have 11 because it's exactly what you said. It's smooth sailing. It's perfect. It rocks on its own, and we've got it down pat, and it's so branded as the event to go to that no matter what you say, people are booking their holidays, booking a weekend and flying in and spending good time in the Ottawa region. And they want to go train at your dojo, Ben, and they want to go train at somebody's dojo. And then they say, well, we're going to fly out of Toronto from Ottawa. So we're going to drive to maybe stop in Uxbridge and train with Scott, then stop and train in Toronto at Northern Karate and then fly home. It's really a big family affair.
We were talking to Shihan Patry about the fact that our schools now are almost like starting again. So we had intermediate students that maybe they didn't quite make it through the Zoom years, so we say. And so now we've got all these white belts and all these beginners. So do you have any advice or tips that you would give to somebody new that would just coming to Capital Conquest for their very first time?
I would say if you're a brand new student, let's say they joined in summer and then they're 4 months training, 5 months in their training, they might be a yellow belt. Maybe just try it out one day. Go like maybe 8 hours in the weekend is too much. Maybe do 4 hours. And worst case scenario is so fun, you can join for the next day, but don't commit to too much. And maybe ask your instructor, what class should I take? Because you can get lost in that big space. Like it's intimidated. You come into a place where there's about 1,000 people from white to like black belt, 8th degree. And everybody's talking. Everybody knows what they're doing. And you're the new guy in there. So maybe ask your instructor, which class should I be doing? And then your instructor that knows all of the guys, or at least like most of the instructors, I would probably say to my student, well, what would you like to do? Okay, well, you can go see that person. And then you would just direct them. So as an instructor that has been doing it for quite a while, maybe you can direct your students so they will get their best experience at that day. So maybe try it out for like 4 hours, like 2 classes, like 4 classes of 50 minutes. Then you can say, okay, do I want to go back tomorrow or maybe next year? But just give them a taste and ask your instructor what you should be doing. I think that would be the best thing that I would say to my new students.
That's very good advice. And you know, when you say it's overwhelming when you walk in, some people have said this. They walk in, they're a little bit nervous because it's new. But as the sensei of your school, you guide them along and you match them. And then you realize you're training on the mat. You're a white belt, yellow belt. And you look next to you and you got a guy in a red and white belt who's maybe a 6th dan. And he's training the same thing as you. And he's learning something new, just like you're learning something new. And it makes you realize that belts are just because of a level that you're at, but that everybody has something to learn. And Capital Conquest offers those something.
Kyoshi Beauchamp is the perfect example. If he's not teaching, he's training.
That's right.
He's always training.
Yeah, and he's 8th dan in jiu-jitsu, and he's also a brown belt now, I think, in BJJ. Yep. And he does weapon, and he did kickboxing, and he was one of the best karate tournament fighter in his day.
And you know what? Get a friend. And like, if you want to get the best experience, go with somebody you train with. Don't go there alone. Go there alone, it's okay. But if you get a partner, it will be that much sweeter for you anyways.
And don't forget, all these instructors or stars that you're going to see at Capital Conquest, don't be afraid and don't be shy to ask to take a photo with them, an autograph.
Yes, and you know what? And then I'll have to end this call, but you just need to know this. If the instructors are there, you chose them, right? Well,
Yeah.
it's because they're good instructors and they will answer or take pictures or sign whatever autograph. Nobody's there with an attitude because, quite frankly, I don't think they would be there. So for whatever reason or for whatever martial arts you want to go, tell yourself the instructors that are there are awesome.
All right. Well, Ben, thank you. And for everybody's listening, Ben owns with his family 2 Therien Jiu-Jitsu and Kickboxing schools in Gatineau. If ever you're in the area and you want to do a good kickboxing workout with him, he's teaching so many classes throughout the week. Please feel free to drop in, enjoy it, and we'll all see you at Capital Conquest November 4, 5, and 6.
Great. Hey, thank you for having me, and I can't wait to see you all in November.
Capital Conquest will be happening November 4th, 5th, and 6th, 2022. For more information, you can go to the World Kabuto website at worldkabuto.org/Capital Conquest or find us on Facebook at facebook.com/Capital Conquest WKF. This has been a Campsall Broadcasting production. Our employees got all excited when they heard about the striking room at Capital Conquest, but then they remembered they weren't unionized. They're still excited, it's just a little different for them now.